First goal of the year goes for the Raiders.
Oh, beautiful shot there. Nicely done. Gets the pin.
First goal of the year goes for the Raiders.
Oh, beautiful shot there. Nicely done. Gets the pin.
Oh, was that beautiful? Onside kick, and it's recovered by Hastings.
And he's rung up for strike 3.
Doblowy! Touchdown Raiders!
And we want to welcome those that are joining us as well on Hastings Community TV and on HCTV. We're back as well on KDWA Radio for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs and the Hastings Raiders in boys soccer action. Mahtomedi coming in 4-5 with a 2-1 record in the Metro East. Hastings 2-5, looking for their first Metro East win. I am KDWA Sports Director Trey Lauer. He is Peter Heyman. We're excited to bring you the call of this one today between the Hastings Raiders and the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. It's about 80 degrees outside. Almost clear, got some high clouds, but no threatening weather, and we are in for a fun doubleheader tonight as you see those Metro East standings. Mahtomedi 2-1, Hastings 0-2, looking for their first win in conference play. And again, if you haven't been following this Hastings soccer team, this team can score goals. They were down multiple goals to Eastview. They were down multiple goals to Bloomington Jefferson, and they came back to win both of those games. They started 2-0, but they're on a 5-game losing streak, so looking to get off that schneid here today, Pete.
Yep, Trey mentioned earlier they can try to get that first goal. It looks like they've taken the east side. Mahtomedi might have chosen the west side for that sun. So our goalie, the sophomore, is going to be looking into the sun. Any shots coming his way, but we do get the ball to start off the game.
Yeah, Jonathan Brox, the sophomore, will be in net for the Raiders tonight. And again, this is a double header, so don't forget to join us later on as well for the girls' game, as we are underway here at Todd Pitch and McNamara Stadium, and the Raiders are in possession early on. Brox has it back near the hash marks for the football field, and the Raiders will try to bring it up the pitch, but Mahtomedi back into possession. The Zephyrs bringing it across, and then knocked out of bounds by a Raider. I believe that was Jackson Rentz who touched it last, so going to get it for Mahtomedi, Ben Carlson, number 23, will throw it in here for the Zephyrs of Mahtomedi in white, Hastings in blue. And right away into the back of the net, off the throw-in, and Mahtomedi takes a 1-0 lead less than a minute into the game.
Yeah, Trey, that was exactly what happened against Stillwater. Stillwater scored immediately, so that we talked about this at the beginning. We want to score first. Unfortunately, that did not happen for Hastings, but good thing is they got about 78 minutes to get that goal back. So,
yeah, that one looked like a set piece to me. I think Mahtomedi had that one perfectly set up, and the Raiders will look to bounce back here now as it's 1-0 quickly.
Yeah, like you mentioned, set piece. Those are the plays that teams will practice, so they get that movement, kind of like a basketball play or a football play. You get that kind of screen pick, and unfortunately, Hastings caught the brunt of that one.
So the Raiders have it out near midfield and are now attacking again from left to right. And with it for Hastings there, number 11, Ethan Schock, but it goes out of bounds. So it will be back to the Zephyrs here. And this one thrown back in. Fight for it out near the far sideline. And Mahtomedi back into possession quickly here. That's Nils Landis who had it for the Zephyrs, and now Hastings trying to send it back toward the middle, but Mahtomedi into possession. With it for the Zephyrs, Nicholas Clark. And then need back the other direction by the Raiders, Weston Schultz, who's into the starting lineup for this one today. Mentioned in our radio pregame, the Raiders have a little bit of adversity, as we'll get to that in a second. This one just kicked wide of Brox, and the Raiders will get a goal kick here. We mentioned on the radio side, spoke with assistant coach Shane Lanning this weekend, head of their Stillwater game, and he talked about how they've had to bring some guys up because of injury, but it looks like they've got a lot of those guys back here today.
Yeah, Raiders caught a little break there, Trey. Riley Burke, one of their leaders on their team with 4 goals. So far, the Raiders are only able to get that one pass. And like you mentioned, there's some younger guys here, so they're still trying to figure out that chemistry between each other.
So Mahtomedi sees this one trickle back into their end, and now the Zephyrs trying to clear it, but Hastings into possession, and here comes Ethan Schock. Schock, and out of what would be the end zone in football, and it will go back to the Zephyrs. Mahtomedi and Hastings met in football less than a week ago, 5 days ago on this field. And it was a defensive battle with the Zephyrs coming out on top 13-7. So Hastings will look to get revenge for the football team here today as well as for themselves.
Yeah, this would be a good way to get their first win here at home.
Yeah,
Trey.
Nice crowd on hand. Got the girls team watching. They're going to play after this, as we mentioned. As with the ball for the Raiders, Johan Rova-Hegner on the near side. Gets it knocked away by Riley Burke, number 6 for Mahtomedi. Mahtomedi hoping to get to 500 on the year with a win today. So there's a lot at stake for these teams. Not a section game, I don't believe. Here's a throw in by Carlson. And then Rova-Hegner will knock it out of play. Already 1-0. Mahtomedi over Hastings here. Less than 4 minutes into the contest. Apologies if you can hear the wind through our headsets. It is a little bit windy, but we will, the show must go on, as they always say.
Yeah, Trey, we got another set piece here. It's going to be the same guy throwing it in just from the opposite side of the pitch. Let's see if that sun affects our goalkeeper.
And that one just went wide. Actually, nice job by Brox to get underneath it. So Brox, with the stop, keeps this a 1-0 game. And he's got it dialed up on the first S in Hastings on the near side in the football end zone. As Hastings trying to clear it, and it rolls into the Hastings bench right to Coach Jamie Swanson over there.
There's another example, Trey, of just the passes aren't quite to their teammates, kind of hitting the open space. The player might have been supposed to be making a run there, but again, communication, and they haven't played with each other maybe long enough yet to know each other that well.
And there's Xavier Beal, who had it momentarily for the Raiders, and then a big save by Brox right in front to prevent goal number 2 for Mahtomedi. And now the Raiders trying to go the other direction with it. Here's Xavier Beal, back to Riley Stewart. And now with it for the Raiders, Jed Carlson into Mahtomedi's end, just outside the box. He steps on the line, and it will go back to the Zephyrs. So we have just played 5 minutes so far. Mahtomedi with a goal less than a minute in to take a 1-0 advantage over the Hastings Raiders. They have both shots in the game so far, as Hastings very few times so far has gotten across midfield.
Yeah, Trey, a positive on that last save by Brox. He got the ball right to his teammate quick, and they got it to the other pitch like that. So that was good to see. That didn't quite happen Saturday against Stillwater.
Stillwater, obviously, as you mentioned, one of the top teams in the state of Minnesota. That was a tough one for the Raiders on Saturday. This one redirected into the Hastings end as Jackson Rentz chases after it, knocks it out of play. Rentz, the senior defenseman for the Raiders. Not a whole lot of seniors in this game either way. Only 10 combined seniors amongst these two teams. 6 for Hastings, 4 for Mahtomedi. As the Zephyrs try to finagle their way near the Hastings net, but it's knocked out of play. And I believe we're going to get another Carlson throw in here. There's another look at it momentarily there, and a good job by the Raider defense to be ready for that one.
I'm going to keep an eye on Brox here, see if he's got trouble seeing this ball.
Right out in front, and he makes the save. A couple of looks from Mahtomedi. The second chance went up into the air, and Brox got underneath it to make the save and keep this 1-0. And now Brox, the sophomore, fires this one deep, but Mahtomedi gets right back to it and bounces it over to Brox. Brox has been busy so far.
I was just thinking the same thing there, Trey. Already 3 shots on goal, one of them being a goal. So they're scoring 33% of their shots. Good steal by the Raiders. Here's a good run.
Yeah, here we go. Jed Carlson has speed, has a beat on the defender, overruns the ball, gets back to it, and right in the front into the glove, into the foot of Sebastian Strauss, and it just missed. And Mahtomedi trying to clear it, and they will succeed as Jackson Rentz chases it down. And now the Raiders go back to work the other way. Riley Stewart. Stewart off the foot of a Zephyr, but back to Stewart. And now Hastings starting to get into a little bit more of a rhythm here, as a Zephyr will undershoot the ball there, and Riley Stewart along the yellow line trying to keep it in, but not able to do so.
Trey, a little unfortunate there down there for the Raiders. It was like a 3-on-2, and the Raider just didn't cross. If he would have made a cross there, a Raider could have had a good chance at a goal there. You like to see that, cross it.
Just crossing over the 8-minute mark, speaking of crossing in this game, as Hastings trails Mahtomedi 1-0. We appreciate you being with us. Mahtomedi getting a goal on the first shot of the game. Here is Sebastian Strauss on the near side, and will fake out Carlson there, trying to get the ball back into play, and then it'll end up being Riley Stewart to take this free kick. Stewart launches it, gets it just over the head of Brody Geib, and Jackson Rentz loops this one up into the air, headed forward by Ethan Schock. Over to Carlson. Carlson to Rova Hegner. And then between the hashes into the middle of the field as they head towards midfield. Mahtomedi gets back to it. Now Jackson Rentz sacrifices the play to get the ball out of bounds and stop any potential attack there from Mahtomedi.
Jackson Rentz has been quite busy tonight. The ball has, if we could see the ball possession, majority of it's been on our end.
So we're going to have another throw in here, and Ben Carlson has been very busy with that so far as well for Mahtomedi, as Riley Stewart gets it right back to him, and now another throw in for Carlson. This one goes a bit wide. Rentz and Brox chase it down. Brox calls for it, scoops it up, and the Raiders will attempt to get their first shot of the game.
Brock switched over to that left side. Every time he kicks it deep, he likes going to that left side there.
Mahtomedi fires it forward. That's number 7, Samuel Belke, who does that. And now with it is Connor Gray. Gray to, I believe that's Shea Sorensen, number 18, for the Zephyrs. And now Rova Hegner to Carlson, in front to Strauss, and just in the nick of time gets it over to the goalkeeper, William Bruntrup, for the Zephyrs. And so 10 minutes into the game, Bruntrup gets his first look as the Raiders have it out near midfield.
Trey, I remember when I played soccer in high school, I remember my coach saying goals are usually scored in the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of a half. And that's exactly what happened here.
Oh, look out, we got a 2-on-1 and into the back of the net. Mahtomedi goes up 2-0. Mason Kipp is going to score, number 6, Riley Burke is going to score that one. I believe Kipp was the other one that was down there. Let's check it here on the replay. I believe it was Kipp. No, it was Burke. It was Burke who scored from Kipp on the assist. And that one was just a lapse in defense there by the Raiders, led to a 2-on-1 for the Zephyrs, and Mahtomedi leads 2-0.
Yep, one bad pass, one bad kick, and they just split the defense. Nothing the goalkeeper can do about that one.
So 4 shots, 2 goals for the Zephyrs so far. Riley Burke with the assist from Mason Kipp has given Mahtomedi this 2-0 advantage, 11 minutes I should say, into the contest. Raiders trying to keep this one towards the middle of the field. Mahtomedi back into possession with it. And Carlson fires it forward, but Rentz is there first. Jackson Rentz over to number 8, Riley Stewart for the Raiders. Stewart back to Xavier Beal, taken away by Carlson. And now back to Burke. Burke in front. Saved by Brox, gets back underneath it and prevents goal number 3. Bobbled it for just a moment, but got back behind it. And now Xavier Beal to Seabass Strauss. Strauss, oh, here we go. A look in front right away, and a diving save by Mahtomedi. Ethan Schock got behind the defenders, and it was him versus Bruntrup, and Bruntrup got underneath it for Mahtomedi.
Yeah, Ethan put a header on that, Trey. I would have liked to see him get that touch and take a shot with his foot. He was a little far out to get that header over the goalie.
Yeah, and so Mahtomedi has it back in possession along the boundary on the far side. And then it will be a foul, I believe, here. So it will go back to Hastings, and we'll get a free kick from the boundary. When I say boundary, I refer to the football sidelines.
Yeah, a lot of lines out here. You got some yellow, some black, and some white. Could get confusing as players sometimes.
Here's a kick. The Raiders trying to fire it forward. Rova Hegner, and it's off a Zephyr. And now, chasing after it is Burke. He gets to it first, but then Rentz gets back to it, dumps it off to Brox. Giveaway at midfield by the Raiders here, and that's going to put Nicholas Clark into possession. Schultz trying to chase him down. Excuse me, that's Brody Geib. And now Mahtomedi on the near side. Here we go with number 10, Nils Landis. Gets past Rentz, and a great save by Brox. A diving effort right on the post to keep that one out. Good job, Jonathan Brox.
Yeah, just here's a replay of that one. Brox busy again. That one was definitely going into the net if he doesn't get a fingertip on that.
Excellent job by the sophomore keeper, Brox, to prevent that one from finding the back of the net. Again, we mentioned it. This is a Raider team that has found themselves in this situation multiple times this year. Those first 2 games of the year where they got their 2 wins, they were down 3-0 to Eastview. Eastview, a very good program. And they were down 3-0 to Eastview, came back and won that game 4-3. So this is by no means out of reach for the Raiders.
Trey, I'm going to say like hockey, this third goal is a big one. You don't want to go down 3-0. If you can make it 2-1 here before the half, that'd be a great sign. Got to get a little momentum.
Yeah, exactly. Carlson along the boundary. Gets it to Geib. Geib chasing after it. Carlson for Mahtomedi fires it forward. So you've got Jed Carlson for Hastings, Ben Carlson for Mahtomedi. Here's Rova Hegner. And now the Zephyrs with a 2-on-1, but getting back to it there for Hastings, Tony Lau, the defenseman. And we'll have a Mahtomedi throw-in. And here comes said throw-in. And quickly, past most of the Raider defense, was number 10, Landis, looking for Burke. But good job by the Raider defense to get back and snuff out that opportunity by the Zephyrs.
Zephyrs looking just a touch faster, Trey, their forwards than our defenders, getting all these opportunities.
There's Landis with a header right on Brox. Brox will make the stop, and now Xavier Beal gets it to Seabass Strauss on the near side. Strauss moving in. He's got a player going with him the other way. Strauss with a shot, popped up into the air, and Mahtomedi with the stop. Now Geib back to Beal on the near side. Xavier Beal dumps it back. Here is Seabass Strauss. Strauss looking right in. That was going to go wide of the net, but Bruntrup got underneath it for Mahtomedi. 7-2 the shot advantage for the Zephyrs in this one so far. Raiders have gotten their first couple shots on goal, but have yet to find Twine.
Trey, you mentioned Raiders have a knack of coming back. That was a great opportunity there, a great shot. An even better job by the goalkeeper, though. The first one, I don't think he knew much of it. He just had his arm out there in the right place, right spot. And on the second one, he was able to keep that in the pitch, kept it on the line. The ball has to completely cross over for it to be a corner kick. Line judge was right there. I was watching him.
Yeah, we are into the 17th minute now with Mahtomedi in front 2-0 over Hastings. First shot of the game on a throw-in for Mahtomedi was the first goal. The second one coming moments ago on a 2-on-1. And to throw it in here for the Raiders will be Carlson. And it's going to go right to a Zephyr, but now Rova Hegner gets to it, looking on the other side for Ethan Schock. And now Beal with some nifty footwork there. Gets it back to Riley Stewart. Now Stewart looking for Seabass Strauss just over his head and out of bounds.
Kind of looked like glimpses of Lionel Messi out there, Trey. That was great footwork.
Leo Messi obviously now in Major League Soccer and has kind of dominated since he got there.
I think he's dominated most everywhere he's been his whole life.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's Burke with it on the near side for Mahtomedi. And over to Gavin Moss, number 12. Nicholas Clark. And now Mason Kipp. Jackson Rentz underneath it for the Raiders. Rentz trying to bring it back up the field into the trash can. Separates the two sidelines. When I say into the trash can, I don't literally mean into it, but rather up against it. As the Raiders have it here. Trying to clear it. Here's Stewart for Hastings, and down goes Rova Hegner. Looked like they collided into each other, and then this one will go wide of the net, and Brox.
Just having a little trouble clearing that ball when they're down inside that 15-yard line down there.
Yeah, so how would you fix that here if you're Jamie Swanson, Shane Lanning, and company?
First thing, if you can get it out, kick it out of bounds sometimes, but try to control it and get it to a teammate quick. And I'd mark the forwards. I'd make the midfielders come down.
Well, there you go, right there. Almost had it. It was Carlson versus Carlson, and Mahtomedi's Carlson thought he had it, and ended up going to Jed Carlson, but then Mahtomedi got it back. Here's Rova Hegner looking over to Brody Geib. Geib back to Jackson Rentz. Rentz towards that far side to Ethan Schock. Schock looking for it, and just past Weston Schultz. That's where Kipp gets to it for the Zephyrs. Kipp back toward the middle of the field now to Ben Carlson.
Looks like they're playing a 3-4-3 Hastings. They don't have a sweeper. They may have to adjust to a sweeper possibly if they keep breaking through their final line of defense.
Closing in now on the 10th minute, or 20th minute, I should say, of this game. Mahtomedi had a look. Raider knocked him over, and it looks like it's going to be a foul, nothing more.
No call there.
No call.
It was all ball. The guy just tripped over the ball.
Carlson trying to outrun a Zephyr, but it goes out of bounds. He backpedals, slows his roll, and we'll have a throw in here for the Zephyrs.
Trey, you mentioned earlier Zephyr, definition of wind.
Yep, I have multiple times thought they were a blimp. They are very much not a blimp. They are a wind. I was thinking of Zeppelin. As the Raiders have it here. Good look for Seabass Strauss, evading a couple of Zephyrs. Over to Weston Schultz, now on that far sideline into the boundary to Ethan Schock. And the Raiders have it back. Here's Geib in front looking for Strauss, but the Zephyr defender got back to it. Now it's Schultz.
Trey,
Go ahead.
This is a much better play by the Raiders. I don't know if you saw how they worked it outside and they were able to cross it. That creates lanes, shooting lanes. You also get to sneak behind the defenders where they can't see where you're at, creating that advantage.
Into the 21st minute here. Hastings and Mahtomedi. They play 80 minutes in high school soccer, 2 40-minute halves. The clock does stop, no injury time or stoppage time. Here is Seabass Strauss with it. Strauss cutting back towards the middle of the field. Strauss trying to fight off a Zephyr. Has it back to Rova Hegner, who fires it in to the corner and into the back of the net. What a goal from Johan Rova Hegner, and the Raiders get that third goal that Pete was talking about.
Yeah, let's watch it on the replay.
Wow.
From here, it almost looked like he was trying to cross it. In between a shot and a cross, it just went right over the goalie's head and scored.
We'll see if somebody got the assist here. Are they going to give this assist perhaps to Seabass Strauss, number 10? And yeah, you see it right off the post, dink right into the back of the net.
That's a good way to get right back into the match, and I would definitely give an assist to number 10. Quick pass, and then the shot right after that.
Obviously meant to say doink there, but nonetheless, Here is Riley Stewart back to Xavier Beal, and now the Raiders have some momentum. And the Zephyrs try to bring it back towards the middle of the field. Rentz versus Burke here. Burke will get to it first. Burke, and then Lau for Hastings the other direction. Carlson, and that is Brody Geib. Geib looking for shock towards the left hash over there, moving from left to right. So that'd be the left hash. As they come back towards the near side to Xavier Beal.
Great touch there by the X.
Yeah, they call him X. And here's a look, shock, chasing after it, but Bruntrup gets underneath it for Mahtomedi.
Trey, that's a good cross right there. You're giving your teammate a chance to get that header on it, get it past the goalie. Like to see that instead of the shot that goes way over the post or whatever.
Schultz fighting for the ball. Here's Lau with it, over to Schultz along the boundary. Raiders crossing midfield with it, but it comes back towards midfield off a couple Zephyrs. Mahtomedi scored the first two moments ago. Johan Rova-Hegner off the post and in, getting Hastings their first goal of this contest. Good footwork here from Ethan Schock. Schock, one-on-one, gets it over to Xavier Beal. Beal trying to chase after it before it goes out of bounds, and he saves it. Good effort from Xavier Beal, splits the defense, and then is overrun by Carlson.
Trey, there's where you can see that speed of Xavier is just much faster than the other players on the pitch.
Rentz, also an accomplished skier, chases after it there for the Raiders. And Mahtomedi has it back in the middle of the field. Here's Burke. Burke back over towards the near side for the Zephyrs to Landis. Landis back to Burke. Mahtomedi in front. It's all alone. Brox can't make the save. It's 3-1 Mahtomedi as the Zephyrs get the response. And that time it was Mason Kipp, number 9, finding the back of the net.
Yeah, Trey, just before that cross, Kipp was unmarked over there. He raised his hand. His teammate saw him. Good pass. One little move by the defender. An easy spot to put it back in the net.
Nifty move by Kipp to get open there, and something for the Raiders to look at on tape here going forward. As Hastings got one back, and then Mahtomedi says, no thank you, we'll just take it back. And it's 3-1 Mahtomedi here with 16:43 remaining in the first half. We do count down in high school soccer, unlike in others where we count up.
For Kipp, that's his 6th goal of the season. And for Rova-Hegner, that was his 1st goal of the season.
Yeah, awesome to see that. As he, speaking of, trying to bring it up the pitch here. Burke trying to chase after it, runs out of bounds. PA announcer Rick Hardy to my left has a good point here. Don't get deflated.
Yep, Tom Brady's retired. Don't have to worry about that.
Oh, boy. Oh, man, I wasn't going to go there.
That's right. I like Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's right. He's exactly right. We're talking to America here. Johan Rova-Hegner has it back. That was the funniest thing I've heard a ref say in a long time. Anyway, we're back to the game here. Johan Rova-Hegner trying to chase it down. Mahtomedi's got it here at midfield. And Stewart got a piece of it for the Raiders. Now Lau knocks it back. Kipp underneath it for Mahtomedi. He's there first.
A lot of time left in this one, Trey. It's still only a 2-goal difference. Once again, get that next goal.
Yeah, next goal going to be very important in this game to kind of set the tone of what Hastings needs to do. Goal in their direction obviously makes this a lot easier than it would be if it went in Mahtomedi's direction based on basic math.
Now that I'm looking at that sun, Trey, I think Hastings knows what they're doing, because I think by the time they switch sides, that sun's going to be just low enough, going to be right in the eyes of the goalkeeper of Mahtomedi. Yeah,
and, you know, I was talking to Shane Lanning, and he mentioned that, you know, these coaches, they like these doubleheaders. They like them because it gives them an opportunity to see the other team play, and it also gives them an opportunity to kind of give everybody a chance to see both programs.
Right.
And you know, sometimes the boys play at 5, sometimes they play at 7. Tonight it's the 5 o'clock, so they do have that sun advantage, disadvantage, whichever way you look at it. The girls won't. And on Thursday, it'd be vice versa. Girls play at 5 and the boys play at 7. As Burke gets to it, I believe Tartan is the Raiders' opponent on Thursday. Xavier Beal back to Seabass Strauss. Strauss looking to Jed Carlson. That's Hastings Carlson. Back to Strauss. Strauss back towards the middle of the field. He has been solid with his footwork all season. Back to Rova Hegner. Just over Ethan Schock. Now to Geib and back towards Seabass Strauss. Strauss towards the far sideline to Weston Schultz. Now on that far sideline, it's Schock with it, trying to cross it toward the middle to Rova Hegner. Collision in front as Carlson trips over Bruntrup. Mahtomedi wanted a foul. They aren't going to get it. And here's another look at it. Yeah, you can see Carlson just kind of fell into Bruntrup. Certainly didn't look intentional.
No, I watched the line judge. He just put his hand down like play on. So
Yep.
Nothing malicious about it there.
Hastings has it on that far sideline. Here is Ethan Schock going up against Cairo Duville, who has come in for Mahtomedi, number 22. Schock with the throw into Jed Carlson. Carlson just bloops it over to Bruntrup, and it goes off his hand and out of bounds, but it would be last touched. Oh, shouldn't that be Hastings then? If it was touched by a Bruntrup?
It would be, but he touched it behind the yellow line.
Gotcha, okay. It is kind of deceiving over there with the
back of the end zone.
The artificial turf. You can't really draw lines or take lines out. Hastings is going to bring in a sub or take out a sub here. Looks like Jackson Rentz is going to leave, and Peter Clark, who played a few minutes against New Richmond the last time KDWA was here.
He also played a lot Saturday against Stillwater.
Good to see. As we mentioned, several of these guys getting their first letters as a result of some of the adversity that this team has faced. Hastings trying to clear it, and Mahtomedi is into possession with it. It's Burke. It's knocked out of play. A couple of guys that got some minutes. Shane Lanning mentioned Pollux was one that would get his first varsity letter on Saturday. As Burke with a 2-on-1, but this time Tony Lau able to get back to it. And now Clark underneath it for Hastings. We got a whistle here.
It'll be a throw-in for the Raiders. That was a huge defensive play there. If that got by him, it was a one-on-nobody. Chance for another goal for Mahtomedi. Just on the other end of Hastings, though, I think the line judge missed one. Looked like the ball crossed the back line. It would have been a corner kick for the Raiders. Even a couple Raiders players were waving their hand asking for it. But
yeah, we haven't had very many corner kicks today. Rova Hegner has it in the middle of the field. Back towards Weston Schultz. Peter Clark chasing after it and out of play.
Tried to head that one, just missed it.
Thanks for joining us wherever and however you're listening or watching. I'm Trey Lauer with KDWA AM 1460 FM 97.7 here in Hastings. Happy to be working again with HCTV and Pete Heyman, as well as those watching on SCCTV.
Speaking of thanks, just want to say thanks to the ball boys out there. Getting the balls for the game.
Absolutely.
Never know, one of those could be a future Raider.
10 ball boys here today. Rick Hardy introduced them there before the game.
Yep, that's got to be exciting for them guys.
So we're going to have a throw in here for the Raiders. Schultz heads it forward, slipping, trying to kick it forward is Carlson, and then it's going to split a couple of Zephyrs. And running back to it is Shea Sorensen, back to Bruntrup. Bruntrup looking for it, a new face into the game. No, that is Rova Hegner. And Rova Hegner looking for Strauss on the near side. Strauss headed forward by a Zephyr to Jed Carlson. Carlson had a look, same spot that Rova Hegner was in, and it just goes wide.
That was not a bad shot attempt. There are no defenders in front of him, so if you get that, when the ball goes one way, then it hooks the other, as it did there, you might grab the back of the net. Just a reminder on the substitutions, it's not like Premiership or Major League where they only get 3 a game.
On the
They're
road,
allowed
yep.
to kind of, for safety reasons, more than likely.
Yeah, and I know
Cramps.
that they've started to be a little bit more lenient on that in those professional levels. They went up to 5 subs in the World Cup this past year, so
Yep.
we're starting to see that maybe a little bit more. As Seabass Strauss gets there first for the Raiders. Strauss, again, with some good ball movement, some good footwork on the near side. Trying to find Brody Guy, but he ends up in the feet of Peter Clark.
Yeah, Sebastian Strauss, he's got some great footwork down there. One little move and he can get by a defender and create that odd man attack.
8:42 left in this first half. Hastings down to Mahtomedi, 3-1. Back towards the middle is Ethan Schock. Zephyrs get underneath it first. That's Shea Sorensen. Now Peter Clark. Clark looking for Geib. Geib right in on Bruntrup, and he is underneath it for the stop.
That was a quick shot there. I think it got a piece of the defender's leg, though. It might have slowed it down for the
Yeah, we'll
goalkeeper.
take a look here. Yeah, Clark right in front, had a good shot opportunity, dumped it off, and then Geib, yep, you're right, deflected off a defender to Bruntrup. But nonetheless, it does count as a shot.
Sometimes you'll see that when it goes off a back or a body, keeper's thinking it's going one way, and all of a sudden it deflects into the net easy.
Yep, same thing as hockey sometimes. As Rova Hegner fighting for it here. Chasing it down is Xavier Beal. He gets past a Zephyr. Meanders back toward the near side here to Peter Clark. Clark to Jed Carlson. Carlson trying to make a Zephyr whiff. Has it back to Geib. Geib gets past the defense. Back towards the middle of the field. Carlson in front. Save Bruntrup.
That was a great job of crossing to the side and then cutting it back. Little flick-on pass from a Raider, too, and unfortunately couldn't get it to the back of the net. Here you might be able to see it.
Yeah, Jed Carlson had it, a good look at it, but Bruntrup was ready for it for Mahtomedi as Ethan Schock races toward the far sideline to try to keep it in bounds, and it will be a Zephyr throw-in. Clock continues to run now, under 7 minutes to play in the first half, so we're into the 34th minute of action here with Mahtomedi 3, Hastings 1. Here is Ben Carlson. Carlson back to Beal. Beal and out of bounds. Last touched by Mahtomedi. That's Trent Steenberg, number 1, who was out there in the pink shoes. A lot of players in pink shoes, I should say, but he was the one that touched it there for Mahtomedi. And so X will throw it in here for the Raiders. Beal looking for somewhere to go with it.
See right there how the Mahtomedi crossed it to the other side of the pitch. It widens up, creates lanes. Good job there by Mahtomedi. Good job by Raiders defending now, though.
Yeah, excellent defense here from Hastings. That's number 12, Nate Sammy, who's into the game for Hastings. Another one of those players that has gotten a letter here with some of the adversity this team has faced here as of late. And if I mispronounced that, I apologize. Please feel free to let us know in the chat.
One advantage of these multiple substitutions is you kind of get some fresh legs all the time. That could be the difference in beating your man, getting a shot on goal, or defending.
Mahtomedi trying to bring it back up the field, but it's some good defense there from the Raiders. Rova Hegner and Tony Lau were the two that were the nearest to that. Throw-in coming here by Hastings. And back towards the middle of the field. Here goes Steenberg. He overruns it. We see some turf pellets go flying. And then Tony Lau will chase it down for Hastings.
So I don't know if you can hear right now, Nils Land is having it out on one of his teammates. So it was a great position to put it in the cross side. Unfortunately, his teammate didn't run down where he's supposed to, and he was letting him know about it.
Yeah, Nils Landese. As Rova Hegner has it there for the Raiders, and now Mahtomedi trying to split the defense, getting behind it. Here is Mahtomedi. Brox comes out to play it off the post and behind the net. Caden Holland almost had a firecracker of a goal, but put just a bit too much mustard on it.
There was a lot going on there, Trey. The Hastings defender on the near side, he kept the Mahtomedi Zephyr onside, but a great job by sophomore goalie Brox to come out to cut off that angle and make the guy make the decision right away.
Yeah, 4:15 left in this first half. You saw the replay there as well. It kind of bounced off the football crossbar and then back into the back of the net. So it did not count as Beal with Steenberg chasing and then gets it right to Brox. So Brox will gear up to throw this one in. We're going to have a sub come on for Mahtomedi. That looks like Burke. Number 6, Riley Burke, one of the goal scorers today for Mahtomedi. Will rumble back out there along with number 2, Caden Gagnelius. And so Steenberg will leave along with Cairo Duville. They will both head back to the bench. Hastings not showing any signs of subs.
Also not showing any signs of letdowns. If anything, the second half, the ball has been more on their end, and they've had the more attacking besides that last shot there.
Yeah, I think that bodes well for Hastings heading into half number 2. We mentioned this tends to be a second half team. They tend to have some pretty good comebacks in them. So that is certainly something to watch here as we head towards half number 2. And in about 3 minutes' time, join us on KDWA. We will have a brief halftime recap of this. Mahtomedi back in the middle. Carlson has it. And now fighting back to get to it is Brody Geib. Geib is there. Has it to Sami. And running it down is Brock, sliding after it as Lau got tied up with Mahtomedi's number 16, Caden Holland. Holland wanted a foul. And it was offside, I believe, is actually the call there. And I don't know, maybe that's what he didn't agree with. But nonetheless, it will be a free kick for the Raiders. Kind of in between the hash marks and the boundary on that 20-yard line from left to right on the far side. And Coach Lanning with a nice catch along the sideline as it goes out of bounds. Now this one thrown back in front, just off the heel of Seabass Strauss, headed forward by Schock. And now the Raiders, Sammy pops this one up and out. And that's going to land in the pirate ship. That should be a goal.
That should count for something.
That should count for half a point if it lands in the pirate ship, kind of like in Bull Durham when you hit the bull. It should count. It should count for something. I've actually seen somebody hit the bull in real life, by the way. So it is a real thing. But
not sure if our little ball boy is going to be able to get up there and get that ball out.
No, that's going to be a tough one.
They're going to need a hidden one-eyed Willie ladder to get
Last time I was here, a ball ended up crossing the highway and getting into the Beer Stew parking lot. And somebody ran across Highway 55, yeah, and brought it back. With 1 minute to go here.
There's a breakaway.
Here we go. Seabass Strauss. He's got Beal covering him on the near side. Bruntrup with a save, but Strauss has it back in the blue end zone on that far side. Clock running under a minute here in the first half. A little bit more urgency here from the Raiders as they try to finish this off.
Yeah, that good hustle's earned himself a corner kick here. Let's see if they got a set play here, the Raiders.
40 seconds left. Here is the chance for the set play, and Bruntrup makes the stop.
Cross was a little too close to the keeper. Otherwise, it wasn't bad for the height.
30 seconds to go first half. Sammy chasing it down.
Good D.
He gets back to it now. 18 seconds to go here first half. Mahtomedi in front 3-1 over the Hastings Raiders. And Brox gets there to make the stop. Brox firing it forward. Xavier Beal, one last look for the Raiders, just pops it up into the air, bounces a couple times to Bruntrup, and that'll be the end of this opening half. So the Hastings Raiders get a goal back after Mahtomedi scored 2 quick ones, but then the Zephyrs respond. And so after one half of play, it's Mahtomedi 3, Hastings 1. We don't have the first goal, but here is the second one for Mahtomedi, and that was Burke, who curled it in on a beautiful feed from Kip. Then Hastings got it back. Strauss over to Rova Hegner, and then Rova Hegner from an angle. Beautiful goal, just off the post, over Bruntrup and in. Don't think you could draw that one up any better. And then a few moments later, Mahtomedi got one back. Burke getting it back over to Kip. So they flip this time. After Burke scored from Kip, Kip scored from Burke. And that made it 3-1, and that's where we stand after a half a play here at Todd Field and McNamara Stadium.
At Hastings Community TV, we have been telling the story of Hastings since 1983. By supporting HCTV, you are supporting weekly live high school sports coverage, community events, original shows like Take a Hike Mike, Man on the Street, Aprons Optional, and Around the Mic. You are also contributing to coverage for school events, graduation, prom, school board meetings, and the student-run broadcast journalism course, The Echo.
HCTV is your one-stop shop for all things local government. This coverage includes city council and other local government meetings, forums, PSAs, local news packages, and so much more.
HCTV also provides virtual alternatives to in-person viewing for notable events around Hastings. We make all of our content viewable to everyone by putting it on TV, YouTube, Facebook, and our website for on-demand viewing.
With more and more people cutting cable each year, a major source of our funding is continuing to decline. Your support is vital to keeping our small nonprofit sustainable. If you would like to give a donation, you can go to hastingstv.org/donate. To learn about our sponsorship program, where your business will be recognized in our programming, check out hastingstv.org/sponsors. At Hastings Community TV,
some you've heard of more, but it doesn't bother me cause I just love to explore, interviewing owners and lending a hand. I love to assist for as long as they can stand.
Ready for half number 2 here at Todd Pitch in McNamara Stadium. Trey Lauer, Pete Heyman with you on KDWA, on HCTV, on SCCTV. And here's the upcoming broadcasts for HCTV. They've got girls swim and dive the next 2 weeks. The 21st against North St. Paul, the 28th against Mahtomedi. Football against Cretin-Durham Hall next Friday, the 29th, and then the soccer doubleheader, which we'll also be here for on October 3rd against South St. Paul. KDWA will be in Bloomington on Thursday night for Hastings football at Bloomington Jefferson. Friday, we have Prescott football at Amory, and then we'll do that all again next week. We'll have Hastings football against Cretin-Durham Hall. That'll be live on our KDWA airwaves, AM 1460, FM 97.7, and the Prescott game will air live on KDWA.com. So going to have 2 live football games at the same exact time next week. We're very, very excited about that.
Yeah, that is exciting, Trey. Speaking of exciting, it's a beautiful night out here in Hastings, so if you are in the area, come on out, catch the second half of the boys, and then it's almost like double dip, and you can watch the girls too, so a 2-for-1-er.
And by the way, we want to give a shout-out to the award-winning Hastings Raiders Marching Band. They took first place at the Rosemont competition this past Saturday. Also performed at halftime of the football game on Thursday. Did a very nice job. Under the direction of Emily Chandler and Thomas Wensler. So congratulations to them on a wonderful start to the year. I know they also competed at Eden Prairie and at Eastview, and I believe their next competition way down in Marshall. So a long trip for them this weekend, but a lot of excitement for that Hastings Raiders marching band. They'll switch sides. We'll get going here for half number 2. Fresh 40 minutes on the clock, and Mahtomedi into possession right away. Zephyrs facing Riley Stewart here. Stewart will run back to it on the other side and kick it out of play, as there was nowhere to go with it really there here in the first 10 seconds of the second half.
Looks like the same starting lineup for the Raiders. Both keepers are the same for both squads. And here we go again already with a throw-in from the side. Let's see if we do not have a repeat.
Carlson, and they almost get a chance there. Brox comes out of the net to chase it, and it goes out of play.
You couldn't have scripted that again, could you? The same guy, same throw-in of 30 seconds into the half.
Yeah, and that one almost was a carbon copy just from the other side and the other side of the field. 45 seconds in now, and they will just go for a little blooper here on the corner kick. And right in front was Burke, sent back, and then Mahtomedi through the field goal post. It's good. Kick is good in football terms. Not here on the pitch, sadly, but or for Hastings, that's good, obviously. But
yeah, if they need a football kicker, they might.
They've got one. Jack Sieben, a former Hastings soccer player, is now the starting kicker for the Hastings Raiders. He, by the way, has been a big part of the Minnesota Special Olympics and the Hastings Sharks. They've been in collaboration with Minnesota United FC. They travel with the Loons to some of their games. They were just in San Jose, and they wrapped up their season at Allianz Field here recently. So Jack Sieben, Ray Kennedy, everybody involved in that, thank you for all your hard work with Special Olympics.
There's a good hustle there by Jed Carlson, one of their leaders. Carlson and Strauss in the first half. They were hustling, like we mentioned earlier. Sebastian, great footwork. Going to need the leaders to step up here in the second half. As players get a little tired, that's when you want that senior leadership to take advantage.
Crossing through the 42nd minute now into the 43rd minute of action. And the Raiders trailing. They need 2 goals to draw Mahtomedi here in this one. 3 to win it. We've seen them do it before. And the Zephyrs have it quickly here on the near side. On the Essen Raiders, trying to spin it free. We've got a whistle. I think he stepped on the line.
You hit it off the Raider. It'll be a corner kick.
Okay. So corner coming here. We're at a little bit of an angle here in the stadium, so Pete is stepping his out through the doorway to get a better look. As the corner goes right in front, Jed Carlson says not so fast. And the Raiders have a breakout here. Seabass Strauss with a 2-on-1. Streaking down the sideline is Ethan Schock. They'll look for him here. It won't quite get to him, though.
Yeah, he waited a little bit long. Schock had the advantage there if he could have crossed it earlier.
And that one knocked back and out.
On that last attempt for Mahtomedi, Brox actually got a hand on that one and knocked it out of the goal area. So good job there by the sophomore.
Yeah, Mahtomedi had an 8-6 shot advantage in the first half. They've got a 1-0 shot advantage here in the second as Jackson Rentz tries to fire it back towards the middle of the field. Goes into the Mahtomedi bench.
Yeah, Rentz did a good job of kicking that sideways. What you'd like to see him do there when it's up high like that, you can head it to your keeper, and then your keeper can actually use his hands because you head it to him. You'll see that a lot in the major leagues. But
Rentz has it near midfield. Over toward Xavier Beal. Back toward the near side to the goal scorer for the Raiders, Johan Rova Hegner. And now chasing it down is Rentz. What speed from Jackson Rentz. And now Brox gets back to it. And the Raiders have it in possession here 4 minutes into the second half. Brox back to Schock. And Jed Carlson has speed. Is he going to outrun the Zephyr? He is. Carlson going to turn the corner. Now back pedals, pivots, spins, and down goes Carlson.
We're going to have a penalty kick here.
Yes, we are. A penalty shot coming for the Raiders as the Zephyr basically knocked him over. Here's a replay of it as you see Carlson running down right to the A in Hastings. And you see the Mahtomedi player here just tackle him, knock him down. And as a result, Jed Carlson will get a penalty shot here to try and get the Raiders 1 goal closer.
And this is exactly what the Raiders need. Score here early, first 5 minutes. See if he can execute. Let's see if the keeper has a problem with that sun as well.
Carlson and into the back of the net. And the Raiders get it back on a PK from Jed Carlson, and it's 3-2.
And that's Jed's 5th goal of the season. That's exactly what the Raiders needed, Trey.
So a PK for Jed Carlson, and the Raiders have halved the deficit. Here's the replay of it, and I don't know there was a whole lot Bruntrup could have done there.
Now, he did a great job of going low and going to the right side. A lot of times you'll see high school kids go to that strong side, which is the left. He did a great job of passing it, and what it does is it actually hooks from the outside in, so it's even harder for the keeper to touch it.
Here we go again. Carlson back to the other side of the field, looking for Xavier Beal. Now it's Mahtomedi's Carlson in possession. Burke and Beal chasing after it for the Raiders. And now racing down there for Mahtomedi is Kip versus Rentz. Battle of number 9s. And Hastings number 9 just gets out of any danger there by sending it out of play.
There was a little danger there, too, because there was an unmarked man right in the middle, so whoever the defenders are at Hastings is going to have to stay on their man there.
34-20 remaining. Here comes the throw in for Mahtomedi. Right in front and just wide. Oh, boy. Just wide of the net on the throw-in as Brox went to make a diving effort.
Yeah, it clipped one of the Mahtomedi's head. They tried to head it in. Good thing they didn't get full contact. Otherwise, that might have gone to the back of the net.
So we've crossed over the 46-minute mark in this game now. 34 minutes to go. And again, no stoppage time. The clock does stop if we need it to in high school soccer. As you can definitely tell, the sun's starting to get lower in the sky right now. And that may have an effect. Mahtomedi bringing it a little bit closer. And right in on Brox, who will make the stop. 33.5 minutes remaining. Plenty of time for Hastings still to get that equalizer.
So Hastings kind of they got that goal back, but now they've kind of looked like the start of the game, too. They're kind of losing their marks in the back. Just got to compose themselves here.
Here goes Strauss, right on the face of the Raider logo at midfield. Looking for Schock. Schock on the near side. Ethan Schock. Back to Carlson. Carlson on the near side. Meanders toward the middle, and then a nice look towards the left post. But Bruntrup will make the save. That was Bruntrup's right, our left. But the left post is where Carlson tried to maybe redirect that one in, perhaps.
Yeah, it was a shot on goal, but with a couple guys in the box there, you kind of want to see him cross it there. You could get a handball, a deflection, a lot more can happen there.
And Mahtomedi is going to kick this one out, or was it last touched by Lau for Hastings?
Yep, it's going to be rewarded a corner kick for the Zephyrs.
So Kip And Moss will head over for the corner for Mahtomedi. Again, if you're just joining us, Mahtomedi in white, Hastings in blue. You got a sub coming on for the Zephyrs here, as that will be Niels Landis back in and Caden Holland out for Mahtomedi. Zephyrs try to head it forward, right in front of the net and into the back of the net. And Mahtomedi has made it 4-2. Nicholas Clark is going to get that goal, as there was just a whole host of Zephyrs in front there, and the Raiders have been windswept again here, 4-2 with 31:51 to go.
Yeah, Raiders had a couple chances to clear it, but the ball just bounced to the weight of the Zephyrs' foot, an easy tap, and you'd like to see him just somehow get the keeper to get that, to punch that out, or get the defender to get that out of that zone. Every time the Raiders get one goal down, all of a sudden it goes right back to two.
So now the Raiders have their work cut out for them again here. 2 goals just to end this game in a draw. Hastings has not had a draw this year, neither has Mahtomedi. But some work to do for Hastings to get to that point. Look at the footwork here by Johan Rova-Hegner. Back toward the middle of the field to Seabass Strauss. Weston Schultz on the near side. Schultz looking for Brody Geib and Ethan Schock. Here's Schultz, back to Geib. Little bit too much looking for Schultz there, and now it's Kip on the near side for Mahtomedi. Streaking down the sideline for the Zephyrs is Landis. Landis back toward the middle of the field. Landis fighting with Jackson Rentz. Landis gets it poked away by Rentz and out of play. And with 31 minutes to go in the game, we will have a Mahtomedi corner kick.
Yeah, good work there on the defender of Hastings, going against the senior there of Mahtomedi.
Headed forward by Lau. Beal is there for Hastings. He has the head forward. And now Burke trying to split a couple defenders, but then knocked out of bounds.
Went off of Mahtomedi, so Raiders going to be a throw-in.
Yep, throw-in here for Hastings. Right along the end line on the near side. Rova-Hegner has it. Back towards Weston Schultz in the middle of the field. Schultz back to that Schock on the near side. Almost said Strauss. Back over to Geib. Geib right in the middle of the field trying to push it forward for the Raiders. But Clark, the goal scorer for Mahtomedi, underneath it. And now Mahtomedi will go back to work. Kip down the field. Here comes Landis. Landis. Nice deflection off the foot of Jackson Rentz.
Another corner kick for Mahtomedi. Just earlier, though, with Hastings, that player had 3 guys on him. You want to see him get it to his teammate on the outside, open it up. Instead, he tries to keep the ball.
Another look in front here, and this one will go over the net and back. May have gone through the field goal post. That would have been about a 10-yard field goal. But it will be Brox to get a goal kick here between the I and D in Raiders, and I actually think it's going to be a free kick because Jackson Rentz is down there to take it. As we are into the 51st minute, I believe, of this game. And then out of bounds as the Raiders tried to bring it up the pitch, Xavier Beal. Not a whole lot of clock stoppages in this one. Only really for goals. Xavier Beal has it back. Beal right along the boundary. Gets it to Strauss. Strauss looking for Schultz. Schultz is there. Here comes Carlson. Carlson saved by Bruntrup. And out of bounds. That one nearly was goal number 2 for Jed Carlson.
And Trey, that goal opportunity was created because they went on the outside. The guy made the run. You spread out the defense. He crossed it, and you have an open shot. So that's much better for the Raiders there.
So as we've crossed under a half hour left, here comes the corner kick for the Raiders on the far side. Riley Stewart, and that one redirects. Maybe didn't go off his foot the way he wanted it to, and it bounces back towards the sideline, but Lau is there for the Raiders. Now Beal is there. Beal taken down. Here comes Hastings, Mahtomedi with a 2-on-2 the other way. It's Landese and Kip versus Rents and Stewart. Now Lau is there as well. He'll kick it out of bounds and up near the limestone up there.
Great job by Lau. There was danger there. He's like, get this out of play. That's exactly what you do. Back to the defense.
Steady gust of wind here as Mahtomedi will go for the throw-in. And then Brox got a hand on it, kind of volleyballed it forward. Pete knows that pretty well. And then this one is kind of just hanging out right in front of Brox here. Now Mahtomedi gets to it. It's Kip, and then it's off of Riley Stewart.
These are the times you just got to clear the ball. Get it out of danger zone.
There he is.
Under 27 minutes remaining now. Corner kick for Mahtomedi. Gavin Moss to take it for the Zephyrs. And that's into the back of the net. Another set piece. Brox was out of position. Looks like it was Burke, his second goal of the contest. And Mahtomedi leads 5-2 with 26:43 remaining.
It looked like on the replay, we'll see. It looked like Brox started to go for it, then he stopped, and that allowed a free chance.
Yeah, Burke's just right off the head, right off the hop and in. Shots are 11-9. And it was Burke who got the goal for Mahtomedi. And so as a result, Mahtomedi has a 3-goal lead for the first time tonight. 5-2.
We've talked about that, haven't we? You want that third goal to be the one for you to get back to 1-goal difference. Now they got quite a hill to climb, but they can do it. Still enough time.
Here's Carlson. And a fight for it off a Zephyr and out of play. So we've had 7 stoppages tonight, all of them for goals. And I believe the PK. So 8. As Bruntrup will see this one come towards him off a throw-in. He gets both paws on it and fires this one forward. Stewart back to Rova Hegner. Now Carlson for Hastings. Here's Strauss and Geib trying to outrun the defense, and Geib has nothing but clean open net in front of him, and it's Geib time in Hastings. Brody Geib into the back of the net as Bruntrup came out to play it, missed it, and that was nothing but green turf in front of him and a little blue turf for Brody Geib.
Yeah, Trey, Geib looked like I was watching Manchester United again in England, but the play, what got it to him was the flick on to him from his teammate. Might have just missed it, but great hustle by Geib to beat the keeper to it, and then it was just back of the net.
Not sure Manchester United this year is the best comparison, but I get what you meant there.
Well, I'll go with Liverpool. That's the team I supported when I lived in England.
You never walk alone, right?
Amen.
So 5-3, Hastings trailing, and they've still got plenty of time to get back in this one in what's been a wild game so far here at Todd Field and McNamara Stadium. Rova Hegner on the near side. So Brody Geib got the goal there for Hastings to make it 5-3. And do the Raiders have a few more in them here without Mahtomedi responding? Here's Strauss on the near side. Over to Ethan Schock. Schock to the goal scorer Geib. Geib trying to thread the needle. He gets it back. And Bruntrup with a diving effort between the S&T and Hastings. Taking a second to gather his bearings is Bruntrup.
We're liking a lot more energy here for the Raiders. A lot more confidence, it looks like. For Geib, that was his 3rd goal of the season. And you can tell he's got the knack for the goal with his speed.
And here is the save as Brox comes out to catch it for the Raiders. So Brox over onto the near side towards Schock. He was out of bounds. So the throw in right away for Mahtomedi. Mason Kipp back towards the middle of the field. Now Geib back to Beal on the other side. Has open turf in front of him. Here goes Geib. Geib. And Strauss chasing after it. He won't beat Bruntrup to the ball, however.
Not a bad idea, just a little hard on that kick.
24 minutes.
And for the keeper, that's risky going to it when it's way out wide, because if you don't beat him there, the net's wide open.
And here goes Mahtomedi trying to get goal number 6 on the day. That's going to go out. Throw in coming for the Zephyrs. Number 2 for Mahtomedi. Gagnelius has it. And he's saying it was touched, but they're going to say it was not. And it will be a Hastings Raider soccer ball.
Yeah, a lot of times goal kick, sometimes your defenders can kick it farther than your keeper. That's why you see the defender making that kick.
Schultz has it to Strauss on the near side. Strauss loses the handle. Chasing back after it now is Seabass Strauss. He's still in possession. Really love the footwork from Seabass Strauss. Here goes Beal. He's taken down, no call.
Yep, they're letting him play. That one could have been called.
Uh-oh, we got a lapse in defense here.
We got an offside.
It's going to be offside, so won't matter there as one of the Zephyrs was offsides. And it looked like Nils Landis had a clear path to Brox there, but one of those two guys too far in front. And it will be back the other way, a free kick for the Raiders, and it looks like Jackson Rentz is going to take said free kick.
Trey, that was a great job by the defense of the Raiders. Both guys had to be in sync.
Here goes Shock trying to thread the needle along the left post, and he just sent it maybe 3 feet wide.
Yep, good shot attempt. Maybe you want to see him go to the cross court side there.
Yeah. Oh, man, it was so close for Ethan Shock. Raiders have put 3 up on the board here, but still trail by 2. 5-3. Approaching 22 minutes to go. And now it's just a battle of possession between Mahtomedi and Hastings. Rentz will get to it first. He'll outrun the goal scorer Burke, who has a brace today. And now Mahtomedi number 23, Ben Carlson.
It's a good thing Rentz beat him because it was a 3-on-1 if he didn't get it.
Mahtomedi right on the nose of the Raider logo at midfield. That's Clark with it. Clark, flag will go up as Landis tried to attack the net. 5-3. Mahtomedi leads Hastings here in this Metro East clash. Hastings looking for their first conference win. Trying to end a 5-game losing streak after starting the year 2-0, which we mentioned included 2 thrilling come-from-behind wins over Eastview, who's been a perennial power, and Bloomington Jefferson. 21 minutes left in this one. And again, we'll have the girls' game coming up. Carlson to take a free kick from the near side, and almost a set piece to Xavier Beal. Missed his head by a centimeter.
Trey, that was a perfect cross. You couldn't ask for that any better. It was too far out for the goalie to get, but it was breaking in. It was an easy chance for the Raiders to put that in.
Yeah, oh, man, he's going to want that one back.
Just touch it on his head, it goes in the net.
So goal kick coming from the N in Hastings here for Bruntrup. And Mahtomedi's number 16, Caden Holland, who's gotten a lot of time here tonight, fighting with Strauss. The flag goes up.
Yeah, he was offside, said the ref, line judge.
Didn't know you could be offside when you're fighting for it along the end line.
He said he was off and then he came back.
Oh, gotcha. And out there now for Hastings, number 18, that's Jacob Reuter, who's getting some time as we've crossed through the halfway point of the second frame. And that's going to put us into the final third of this game as Brox hurdled by a Zephyr, but then gets it back in front, and Brox basically says swipe or no swiping there. And an effort by Mason Kipp coming over to check on Brox and make sure he's okay.
He might have taken a cleat to the top
Yeah,
of
he
the
did,
head,
and it was nice sportsmanship there by Kipp to come back at the whistle and check on Brox to make sure he was all right.
Let's hope that's what he did. Didn't quite look like that after Brox shook him off. But
Yeah, Duville was out there. He was looking for Kip on the near side with 19 minutes to play here. Kip has it. Back to number 12 for Mahtomedi. That is Gavin Moss. Dribbles it in on Brox. Here's Xavier Beal towards the middle of the field. Beal.
We haven't heard Xavier's name quite a lot today. Let's see
No,
if he
he's
can make
kind of been
something
shut
happen.
down here in the second half as Geib and Schultz are there at midfield for the Raiders. Schultz between two Zephyrs looking for Geib, but it comes back out to Strauss instead. Now Strauss is tripped. And that will be a free kick coming for Hastings here.
Trey, this looks very similar to the same spot we almost had that goal on the header. Let's see if they can do something again just like that. Looks like it's going to be a left-footed cross here, though.
Yep, Strauss.
Might arc away from the goalie. We'll see if that sun bothers him. Good ball.
Good set piece in front, and Mahtomedi is the first to touch it. Stewart back to Rova Hegner. Just outshoots Jacob Reuter's feet. And now we've got 2-on-3 action, but Mahtomedi trying to fire this in front, back over to Kip on the near side. Here's Kip, and he's just going to send that one to a fan.
Nice stop there by the fan.
Lucky recipient. Throws the throws the soccer ball back. I was thinking of this summer when calling town ball, when they would have to give the baseballs back because they didn't. That's the rules.
Oh yeah, those things are expensive.
By the way, the shots are even, 11-11.
Yeah, Trey, Raiders have really poured it on here in the second half.
Yeah, and the Raiders with that shot mark at 11-11 are hoping for a wish that they can come back and tie this game. As fighting for it now. Yeah, plenty of time still, 17 minutes. We've seen crazier things happen in sports.
Onside this time.
This one is onside. Brox is behind it. He's in trouble. That's just going to skirt into the back of the net. No flag up.
Raiders fans were asking for a handball there.
Yeah, they're asking for a handball, but celebrating for Mahtomedi is Nils Landis to make it 6-3.
Let's see if we can see it on the replay.
It looked like Brox came out to play it, and then Landis kind of blooped it over his head. Let's take a look here.
If it's not a natural stance and he raises his arm, that should be called a handball. Ooh, that looked like definitely
tight.
a handball.
That's close, yeah.
If we could have a challenge play here, I think we'd win it.
But nonetheless, they're going to give the goal to Mahtomedi. And Niels Landis has made it 6-3. Mahtomedi, and now the Raiders are in a heap of trouble in these final 16 minutes. Reuter fighting it back towards the middle of the field are the Zephyrs now.
I wasn't too sure if it was going in, and I was still watching myself.
You can even tell that was a handball the way it spun off and then back. You'd hope the line judge would catch that.
Lau knocks it out of play here for the Raiders. So Hastings is going to have their work cut out for them in these final 16 minutes. They've got to get a little bit more offensive pressure, I feel like, here.
Yeah, they've had quite a bit, but just missed that header. If they would have put that header in, it would be a one-goal difference, be a totally different game right now.
Yeah, so clock runs under 16 minutes now. Shots now 12-11 in favor of the Zephyrs. And a throw in coming. It's Carlson again. We've seen them work this a lot in this game. And out there for Hastings now, number 15. That is Caleb Schumacher. Another guy who got a letter. Brox is down. He gets back up to make the play. And he appears to be fighting through something right now.
Yeah, he's gotten hit in the head with a cleat. He's gotten bounced into by some bigger players. Let's see if Hastings swaps goalkeepers. Doesn't look like
it doesn't. I don't see Devin Hampel, so that would be the other goalkeeper for the Raiders. And a nice job here by Jed Carlson. Carlson basically took the ball away from the Zephyrs Holland there. But then Holland will knock it out. And as a result, it will be a throw in for the Raiders. Here's Carlson with it. Carlson back toward the middle and through the top of the field goal post, up on to the fence. That nearly cleared the fencing over there on the Vermilion Street side. That would have been dangerous. Here it is.
I think it hits the top of the fence
It
like
does.
you see in baseball.
It's the top of the stanchion and almost got over and onto Vermilion Street. And that ball would not have survived that. And somebody's window would not be very thrilled.
Good ball.
Shock with a nice ball. Yes, forward here towards Strauss. Strauss trying to fight his way off a Zephyr. He takes a spill. Mahtomedi back into possession. Now Trent Steenberg. Steenberg fighting with Stewart. Stewart looking for somewhere to go. Go ahead.
Good attempt to cross it there. He just got too much on the inside of his foot.
And now the Raiders see it come back towards their end, and Stewart just sends it forward to Brox. Brox on the near side. Brody Geib. Geib takes a spill.
Gonna have a free kick here. A little push in the back. Geib's speed is able to beat these Zephyr defenders, and they don't like that.
So here comes the free kick from Ethan Schock on the near side boundary here. Schock. I think he saw Rova Hegner from there in the end zone and thought maybe that would get down to him right in front, but it didn't quite make it there. And now we've got a lapse in defense. Here comes Landis behind the defense. Landis saved by Brox. And then Brox underneath it, and then a collision between Landis and Brox as he already had the ball.
I think we're going to see our first card of the game.
Yes, indeed, and I don't think Landis is happy. He's getting a yellow card, though.
Yeah, that was well-deserved. Brox had that ball in plenty of time. Landis slid into him with his cleats. That was not cool.
See it at the end there. Landis, I think, maybe didn't know Brox had it covered up. But the official agreed. And a yellow card there for Niels Landis. And now Mahtomedi back into possession again. Here's Carlson in the middle of the field, right off of Jackson Rentz. Weston Schultz on the near side. Over the head of Ethan Schock. Now to play.
He's taking a few deep breaths there. I was going to say he might be feeling that one later.
Jackson Rentz, yeah, that one hurt.
I think he got him right in the abs.
Beal and Clark are coming in for Hastings. Geib and Lau are coming off.
Just under 12 minutes, maybe thinking get some fresh legs. Maybe they can beat a defender.
Yeah, you need 3 goals to draw Mahtomedi here in 11 minutes and 35 seconds. Rova Hegner. Brents fires it up. Back towards Beal on the near side. Stewart. And now the Raiders in possession. That's Schumacher. And a nice sliding effort there by Schock. Back on the near side to Strauss. Strauss to Beal. Here goes Xavier Beal. Beal trying to fight his way off of Sorensen from Mahtomedi.
Maybe just a touch too many there, Trey. That's where you want to see him cross it when he was in that position.
There's Strauss back to Schultz. Middle of the field to Strauss. Strauss still in possession. Man, oh man, some excellent footwork from Seabass Strauss, but Bruntrup underneath it.
Good footwork there, but that's where he needs to pass it. A little too selfish there.
10:38 left in this one. Mahtomedi on their way to a win. Hastings hoping to pull off a miracle here.
I've seen it done.
Oh,
Arsenal's done it a couple times.
It's been done before. I remember team was down 2-0 in stoppage time and won 3-2. I think that was to send them to the Premier League, I believe. So it's been done. And as the clock runs to 10 minutes left here, the Mahtomedi Zephyrs have a 6-3 lead over the Hastings Raiders. And almost 7-3 as Brox not quite able to get back in time, but thankfully that one rolled out of bounds. Nine and a half to go. We've got a whistle on the goal kick.
Haven't heard that too often tonight, Scott.
No, haven't. Gonna have some substitutions here. Mahtomedi gonna put some fresh legs on the field. We'll catch the numbers here. Looks like number 21, Devin Chu. Also Devin Hampel into the game to play keeper for Hastings here for the final 9 minutes. And Mahtomedi also had another body come onto the field there. We'll try to catch that number. But Devin Hampel into the game for the Raiders.
Got to give a shout out to the sophomore Brox, though. He was under heavy pressures, got cleated, bumped into, slid into. He's taking a beating out there, but he's made some great saves as well.
Yeah, you see him talking there to Shane Lanning, debriefing as he heads back to the bench for the Raiders. His night over more than likely. And don't forget, we've got the girls' game coming up as well. We are not done, far from it actually, here at Todd Field as our doubleheader continues. And Hampel gets his first action of the night. I believe that was not Chu, number 11, who put that one on net. That's going to go into sections 4 and 5 here in the stands. 8 minutes to go. So Mahtomedi going to empty their benches here. Timothy Schussler, number 5, is into the game. Drake McLean, number 15. Also see number 25, Joseph Nelson, in for Mahtomedi.
Good to see him getting all their players on. Also, it's towards the end of the match, a little gamesmanship. Any more time they can take off the clock. You see that a lot in Premiership. Subs at the end.
Yeah, Saib Diata is the other Mahtomedi player that had come into the game, number 19. Seabass Strauss has it on the near side. Looking for a cross here to number 15. That's Schumacher. And Schumacher chasing after it, looking to Rova Hegner. Rova Hegner on the far side.
Similar area where he scored that first goal on the opposite side of the pitch. Could use one here.
Yep, Rova Hegner looking back over here now. Oh, flag's going to go up for Schumacher.
Ball just crossed the end line.
7 minutes and a little change to go here. Mahtomedi leading 6-3, a goal less than a minute into the game, got them started. They led 2-0 before the Raiders got one back. Johan Rova Hegner with a brilliant goal. Then you had Jed Carlson on a penalty kick, and the Raiders' third goal coming from Brody Geib. Strauss is taken down in a collision with Mahtomedi's Timothy Schussler. There's a replay of that as you see Strauss.
Strauss going for the net there, it looks like.
Yeah. Peter Clark out there for the Raiders as well. Keeping it alive. Good footwork here from Peter Clark. Back to Carlson. And Mahtomedi has also changed goalkeepers.
Just going to say that's definitely not the same color jersey we've
seen. Finn Hemingway is in for Mahtomedi, so they're giving him an opportunity here. Also see number 7, Samuel Bilke, back out there. As Clark trying to chase it down. Hampel gets there.
Ooh, bicycle kick there.
Yeah, opportunity there as Beal on the near side for Hastings here has it. Beal knocked away by Schussler.
Another sub. It looks like our keeper's going to come back in.
Yeah, looks like that's going to be Nick Sami back in for the Raiders. So Sammy back in for Hastings here. 5 1/4 to go. Here's Strauss on the near side to Nick Sammy. Raiders tripped there, or knocked over rather. Beal fighting with Nelson, number 25, Joseph Nelson.
Going to have a free kick here just outside the box.
Yeah, big opportunity for the Raiders to get one back. Obviously, you need 3 goals to draw here in less than 5 minutes. Like you said, it's been done before.
One at a time here. See if they take a shot or if he's going to try to cross.
Rova Hegner to take it. Nope. And they will cross it to Carlson, and he puts it in the back of the net. Man, oh man, you couldn't script that one any better. Rova Hegner with the fake. Carlson took it, and the Raiders get one back at 6-4, and hold on, we may not be done just yet.
Trey, that was perfectly executed. You had the wall over there. They passed it to the middle. Nobody there to block the shot. You see that all the time in Premiership and Major League Soccer. Well done with the Raiders.
Yeah, that one looked like it was Ethan Schock. That was the other one that was in on the fake. So Schock from Rova Hegner is putting some time on the clock here. 4:20 will go on to the clock. 6-4, the Mahtomedi advantage. So the Raiders have 4 minutes, 2 goals to tie, 3 to win. That's the second goal of the day for Carlson. He's got a brace now. As Clark fighting with Cairo Duville. Clock reaches 4 minutes to play. 6-4, Mahtomedi.
There's still time here. Just put some pressure on, get the ball on their end.
Zephyrs have it. That was Diata momentarily. Now it's Jackson Rentz.
Rentz has been all over the pitch tonight. He's been one of their best defenders.
3:35 to go. Here is Rentz. Look back towards the middle of the field to Schumacher, but it's going to go past him out of bounds.
And looks like Hastings adjusted to that sweeper I talked about early in the first half. Rentz back there.
And now Carlson in on Hemingway, but Hemingway will win that fight. That one almost would have been a hat trick for Jed Carlson.
Looks like they called offside.
And he would have been offsides anyway. 3 minutes to go. And a nickel. Sammy. Now looking for space. Back towards the middle to Ethan Schock. Schock back over towards Strauss. Strauss to Carlson, and Hemingway will get there again. They're really trying to get Carlson this hat trick here in the late stages of this one.
That was a great ball down the middle, just a touch hard. Good job of the keeper coming on into the game to get that. Those are dangerous plays right there.
Under 2.5 to go. And that one will go out of bounds. So we'll have about a 20-minute break or so before the girls' game, and I think we're going to do a separate stream for that one on the TV side. We will keep it here on the radio, debrief about the boys' game, and then talk about the girls' game. As I believe we're going to see somebody's coming off for the Raiders here. Is that Carlson? Boy, has he had himself a game. Yeah, he's limping off. I think Jill Contreras will go take a look at him, the athletic trainer for the Hastings Raiders. Got to tip your cap to him. We hope he's okay, but you got to tip your cap to a really solid effort from Jed Carlson today.
Yeah, if we were doing a vote for man of the match for the Raiders, I'd probably have to give it to Carlson. He was all over hustle, scored 2 goals, earned himself a penalty kick.
6-4 the score, 2 minutes to go. Here's Riley Stewart, keeping it alive for the Raiders, still keeping it alive. Brody Geib is there. And now on the near side for Mahtomedi, Saeed Diata. Clock under 2 minutes to go. Hampel to Stewart. Stewart to Schumacher and out of bounds. Raiders showing no quit here in these final minute and 3/4 of action.
Yeah, this was the same thing Saturday night when they played Stillwater. They played all the way to the final whistle, which is what you like to see.
Here's Schumacher again. Reuter and Strauss. Strauss right on the end line. That's actually Rova Hegner. And Rova Hegner, as Rentz went for the header, tumbles over number 21, Devin Chu.
Yeah, it was a little dangerous there. Good thing he didn't get hurt. He's up, walking back, seems okay. Grabbing his hip a little bit.
Yeah, 1:10 remaining.
Last thing you want is one of your best defenders getting injured here at the end of a game.
1 minute left. And that one will go wide. You see some turf pellets go flying as Hampel chased after that with 51 seconds to go. And so 6-4. Hastings trailing Mahtomedi here. And it's unfortunately looking like for the Raiders, they will not get the win tonight. For Mahtomedi, they will get their 3rd conference win of the season. Hastings still looking for that first conference win. As Sammy sent back toward the middle with 10 seconds. One last chance here for the Zephyrs with 10 seconds left. Shot, saved by Hampel, sent back. Good shot, opportunity, good save by Hampel, and that will be tonight's ball game. So Devin Hampel with a great last-second save there. But for the Hastings Raiders, they put up 4 goals and lose this game, 6-4. So a really good offensive showing from the Raiders, but it just wasn't meant to be tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, Trey, there's a lot to be proud of there. They, like you said, they put up 4 goals, so they can score. But they started the game just like Stillwater in some previous games where they gave up a goal early and they were chasing the opponent the whole way through. So they just got to get composed at the beginning of the game and figure out a way to mark your man, a little better defense at the beginning, and keep better possession of the ball. You saw in the second half, if you looked at time of possession, we had it way more scoring opportunities.
There was Carlson's goal, and now here's the second one by Burke for Mahtomedi. Actually, this was Clark who scored it, as remember Brox came out to play it, and then Clark got it behind him there.
And you could see there was about 4 times you could have cleared it. It just kept bouncing around, and that's danger.
Yep, and then off the corner, that was the second one for Burke. So Burke got his brace there, and then here's Brody Geib. This was beautiful. Right in front of Brody Geib, the flick. Geib got behind the keeper. There was nothing anybody could do there, as Geib got goal number 4 for Hastings. But unfortunately, the Raiders not able to win this one, as the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, here's the final Mahtomedi goal as Brox came out to play it. And actually, there's one more Hastings goal. This one was sick.
Great play here.
Yeah, this was the fake. And then Schock dumped it off to Carlson, and Carlson launched it past Hemingway.
Top left corner, too. So,
yeah.
Well, that's a great set play there for the Raiders.
So the Raiders have a lot of good stuff they can take away from this one. But your final score tonight, Mahtomedi 6, Hastings 4. Producer-director Hunter Pinky, announcer Trey Lauer, Pete Heyman. Camera operators Max Slocum, Ian Andrzak, Tori Selner, graphics and replay, also Hunter Pinckney. We'll have a separate stream on the TV side for the girls game, but stick with us here on KDWA as we'll kind of do an in-between show.